So here's a fun little project to show you ahead of time what I got. John Deere L120, don't know what year it is, but it's definitely got some hours on it. With a 48-inch deck. Now it seems to be common with a 40 and a 48-inch deck. John Deere uses about the same spindles assembly, so it's not really it's not difficulty finding them. Just thought I'd share some tips and tricks that I learned on the way. First, I know this was, you can just replace the bearing. Whoops. You can get some decent light, but I don't have all the necessary tools to probably change a $12 bearing. I know that'd be better than spending the 55 bucks on the whole spindle, but at the same time, the second problem though would be at least the new ones have a grease zerk. The old ones did not. I'm not sure what John Deere engineer genius was at work that day, but whatever. Yeah, I know there are greaseless bearings, but it's a mower deck. It's spinning very fast for a long time, seriously. So, again, with the experiences, there's a couple online vendors, including some spots on Amazon, that you can get this for right around the $50 to $60 mark. There's one that's cheaper, like 30 bucks. I'd be a little careful though at getting that entire assembly though for 30 bucks. Some of the comments on the Amazon reviews of the other one though is like, where's it made? Like, everything's made in China. Even this one came from John Deere. It's made in China. Who cares? The one problem that you're going to have to face though is if you ordering online or getting them at John Deere is making sure you get the self-tapping bolts, because these are not threaded. You do not need a tap and die set. These bolts, which I just did, you'll want to do it before you install it back onto the deck. Just get them started. And you could hand crank them all the way down, but guess what? I got an impact, so as long as I knew they were safely started, that's safely using the impact to then drive it all the way down, and I already tested it. They threaded very well, so. Obviously, while the deck was already off, might as well spend a few bucks and slap some new paint on there. Wasn't looking too bad, but now it looks almost like a halfway new deck, except when I did some clear coat on top of it all. Seemed to do that crap, which usually I'd be very upset about. But you know what? This is about, from here to here, that's about as much as the deck you actually see anyways. Also did some of those pulley covers back in black. The other one concern, or tip and trick, hopefully this pulley still works, but when this was on here, she got twisted, so it wasn't going to come off easily. So once you got the 4 bolts out, all I had to do is take a hammer on top of that spindle, and the whole assembly dropped and the pulley stayed on top, so it worked out good. Protective piece off of there. And that fits on there, so it shouldn't be a problem. Might rattle a little bit, but I suppose I could have got a new pulley, but that worked fine. And then the other thing too was, I've made this mistake last time. Pausing. Let's see, where was I? Oh, I did take a picture just in case I had to take I've had to replace this before, and I got kind of confused on how it went back on. So I wrote with a Sharpie some arrows, so that when it goes back on, I know which way around it goes, and then I did that for where it's supposed to. So if I position the pulley right, why I did it this way, obviously it's going around, but if I position it, that's where the belt comes onto the pulley, and then where it goes around the pulley. And then I did that with all of them, so they can hopefully get it on there right. I struggled the last time where I was doing something wrong, but that's the fun of replacing a spindle. I would have did all of them, but then that would be dropping 150 bucks. Or that's the point I wanted to make, where you could get these online for most of them 53, 54 bucks, but local John Deere had them for 54 and change plus a tax. But so at least dealer versus online was pretty much the same price, but at least I could get it right away versus waiting a couple days. But depending on where you live, that might be your only option. trying to think of anything else. Like someone said though too, where the other spindles, they might last another 1, 2, 5 years. So I guess why replace it? Obviously, when you already got the deck off, it wasn't the hardest thing in the world. If you don't have that much time, then I would say replace them all. But like I said, oh, and the other thing too is it finally has a grease zerk, but they come dry. So make sure that when you're after you're tapping those in and you get it all assembled, make sure you're getting some grease in there. And I know it sounds stupid, but me included would probably forget about that, or if I didn't read up on it, would not think about that for some reason. Make sure you get some grease in there, otherwise you'll be back to doing the same thing in a little bit. So that is my experience. Maybe we'll get some pictures when she's all back put together and looking nice.